see 110K, and it's another massive week ahead for us. Are we going lower? Are we going higher? Are we going to get our bullish October? So lots to talk about here today, but most importantly, it's a big update for you guys. This week is going to be massive for us. We've got tons to talk about here. Let's go. Guys, and remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, and hit the subscribe. And I'm back for one day in my studio. I've been in Ibiza, now I'm back, and now I'm flying to Singapore tomorrow for Token 49. So you're not going to see me tomorrow, but you'll see a little bit of me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You should be getting tons of action. Okay, so yeah, excuse my absence, guys. I've missed you a lot. Hopefully some of you guys got some of the videos, and we did hit some levels last week. I did post some setups for you guys, so hopefully you weren't all too miserable there. Speaking of miserable, here's Mr. Bullish. Are you miserable or not today?
Yeah, not quite miserable. I'm not even bullish today. I'm rather bearish. Yeah. Based on the news and coming events and end of the month and all this, yeah, I'd have to say bearish is the way to go.
Okay, so yeah, so we were kind of talking offline, and there's a lot of news happening, guys. Okay, but what we do know is statistically, October should be decent. Okay, so we're going to talk about that just now. Then I've got a couple of charts, simple random charts on some of these altcoins that tell me we might get a second dip to print bullish divergence on the daily, and that might mean a little bit of a drop. Okay, so we're going to discuss all these things here, and you guys are going to be well covered. I have just longed ASTER because I feel like going to zero. Okay, so I bought a little bit of ASTER on 𝗏𝗏𝗶. I'm going to show you guys that in a second, and we'll get James on now. Look at it; he's looking a bit tense. We got to get him relaxed. Okay, we got to get him relaxed here. We're going to bring him back in a sec. Okay, Banter Bubbles pump. Finally, that thing has woken up. We looked at these levels. I think I dropped the level on Friday on that little short I did for you guys. Pump is now up 14%. That thing has kind of just exploded now out of nowhere. Where's this thing? Where's this thing? Bang. Okay, look at that. So pump is now waking up, finally giving us a little bit of action, and overall things have turned a little bit greener. ASTER's been bleeding all day. It jumped into a level a couple of minutes ago, so I've taken a small position here. Let's see if we are going to get something, but I'd say overall we've seen quite a choppy, quite a flat weekend, bar what we are seeing out of BTC right now. A little bit of upside action, so let's see what what's in store for us. And the short-term bounce zone that you can see, we were looking at, when was this? Friday, 108.6 down to about 107.3. That was the area of interest for me. I still think we're going to get a little visit here at some point. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know when that type of thing can happen, but that was quite a nice area for me, and it makes a lot of sense to get this guy cleaned out, and that is about 107.300, even down to 107, something like that would make a ton of sense to me. Now we're looking at a fairly low volume weekend as usual, and now we seem to be getting our Sunday pump. Now, is this our fake Sunday pump that we always get, and then they get a sell-off? And we can ask these questions all day long, but typically when you get a move like this on a Sunday, you kind of need to look to sell this thing or take a little bit of profit. So in terms of danger zones for me, what do we got? We got 111k. Okay, so let's go 111k number one. Then we've got 112,300 over there. That's a banger. I mean, that's a proper banger. That's our VWAP from the high. That's our 382. That's a nice area for me. So 112k, somewhere in that region, just above. And then I've got a proper banger here. This is the 50-day MA, the 100-day MA, the horizontal, and the 0.5. So this is an extreme danger zone. I've also got a monster order block there. Look at that. Bang. Okay, so we know this is a big danger zone for us. So if we're getting a little bit too euphoric today, let's say the market just rips now for another hour or two. This, for me, if we hit this zone today, okay, like you kind of just, like you really want to take some profit there. I can't stress that anymore. I mean, James is like, like
not really, the time to ride things to Valhalla. No.
So, yeah, I mean, they wouldn't make it this easy that they'd give us this gift on a Sunday and just let everything rip. Okay, so guys, these are your danger zones. These are the areas you must be careful at today. Okay, and again, this time could be different and they could blow through or whatever. Okay, but what we've seen in the past, time and time again, on a Sunday, you get these pumps, you look to take profit of these areas, possible head shorts coming for you guys, those types of things. And these are the typical danger zones. Fools will never learn, says DB. It's all fake pump. Beware. Okay, what was that other one? The one just before that, there was something. I just missed. I missed that one. Weekend pump for recreational use only. 100%. Sounds like a couple of days in Ibiza there, you know, just having a good time. But yeah, these are big danger zones here to the upside. Be careful. Okay, there you've got your downside zone. You know what I'm looking at here. In terms of our oscillator, You can see the 2 hour heavily overcooked. Look at this. We haven't seen levels on the 2 hour like this. I mean, if we zoom out, look here. The last time the 2 hour hit this level was somewhere here. That was 14th of August, so over a month ago. Okay, and it hasn't done much. If you like, if we think about it, like it's moved, I don't know, 0.5%. Okay, so yeah, we are so back, guys. Okay, bullish. Okay, where's this bull? There it is. Okay, so there you go. That is my current BTC situation. Okay, and let them squeeze. Let them squeeze. That's nice. Just remember to take some profits here. And IQ of 10 with all the titanium. Okay, let's go. Let's get into the good stuff. Okay, let's first look at the fear and greed 37. Okay, now guys are shitting themselves, but not enough. Okay, are you scared? Not enough. We need it at about 20. I think you can see James in the back. He's like, yeah. So anything under 20 for me is a proper. You sell your granny there. Okay, you take her outside and you sell her. And what did we say? If she was underground, you borrow the rings and you.
Oh, right, dig her up for the gold ring she was buried with. Yeah.
You put them back, okay, but just make sure you only do that when fear and greed's under 20, okay. So be super patient there. Liquidations, let's take a look where we are. 140 this weekend. So we hit some big ones last week. Thursday, Friday was actually rough. I mean, it was proper rough. I hit stops. I got liquied. It was absolute filth last week. So we had $1 billion, I think 1.7 billion on Wednesday, Thursday. Then we had another billion or something like that on Friday. And it was an absolute mess. So nice to see a little bit of karma here at 144. Dracula's already digging up the granny. Bro, you're too early. You need granny at 20, fear and greed or lower. Okay, then I'll allow that to happen. Okay, now, this is important stuff, guys. Okay, new trader experience this bull cycle. How are we feeling here? Okay. Okay, because there's a very big difference here between a well-seasoned trader, like a proper trader, and a new trader. Let me show you what the difference is here. Okay, and you guys tell me what you are. Okay, there's your beginner, okay, and then there's your advanced. Okay, this is literally my diet. Okay, barring the cigarettes that I slow down on, but I do the espressos. Where are you on this chart?
How were the cigarettes during the little vacation here? I'm sure there were some adult beverages and late nights and dancing.
They gave me a couple of headaches. Yeah, they gave me a couple of headaches. The next day, they add to the hangover.
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a rough one. So which one are you? Are you on the right or are you on the left, yeah?
Well, I've quit the cigarettes, but I think I need to go back to them probably here.
Yeah, like, I mean, when I look at that, I sometimes think, ooh, wouldn't mind going long or short when I see that. I just don't feel like trading. Okay, so there you go, guys. That is the difference between the beginners and the experienced traders. Now, let's keep James here because it's quite a big week for us. We've got a ton happening, and it's all about the jobs data this week. And we know how important this jobs data is in terms of rate cuts and things like that, and, Powell being dovish and stuff like that. So what is scaring you this week the most, other than, say, Russia, for example?
Well, yeah, there's tons in the news, but this specifically, the data coming in, if these jobs numbers come out strong and the jobs numbers are good, we're fucked. Just fucked. There's no beating around the bush. It might be this, it might be that. We're fucked. So we need really bad jobs numbers, full unemployment, or we're screwed, because this is the only thing that led to the rate cut last time. We had rising inflation, right? And you're not supposed to cut rates into rising inflation. So, and the reason that they did is because the jobs market was so bad. If this cools off and the jobs market's good, neutral, expected, I think we could be in trouble here. So this is leading to my bearish case. Now, if unemployment is bad and it continues that way, we're okay. But yeah, this is big data, pivotal data. So
okay, so guys, you can see, I mean, it's big stuff coming up. What do we know? Statistically, October is good. Okay, so what we also know, what other information do we have? We know at the beginning of every month, there seems to be some kind of de-risking event or sell-off, and it always happens sort of around the 3rd, 4th, 5th of every single month. And if we go back in time, at least till like that Japan carry trade, and when August, it's been routine, actually. It's been like literally routine.
For the past 12 months in a row, the first week of the month has been shit. Every single, the trend is your friend until the end. We're going to stick with the trend at the moment. You got to count on that it's going to continue again. And it's typical de-risking at the end of the month. We also have, this is the end of the quarter. So there's even more de-risking potentially there. That how can we expect that not to happen here?
So, guys, you can track all of this stuff on Forex Factory if you want to watch the pain day in, day out. You can see this data coming through. Forex Factory is free. It's there, forexfactory.com. You can see every single day they've got things coming out. Now, the interesting thing is there might be a government shutdown Okay,
right.
so
that's additional to this is that the shutdown's there too, and then the Russia-NATO news, and there's so much converging here. That's what's making me quite nervous. Just all of this stuff together. It's not a good look.
So there's a lot happening here, and this government shutdown. I was just reading this tweet. You guys can read through this. Obviously, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but this government shutdown basically that means they're going to shut down non-essential government services, like for example, giving out this data. So this might be delayed and things like that as well. That could cause problems. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but take a read here. This is Jim Bianco. He says Bianco Research. Okay, so he's saying 83% chance of a shutdown, suggesting it will occur midnight on Wednesday. Okay, so month end here could be an absolute mess. And Legend of E says ASTER is taking off. What?
Oh, it is.
It is. Nice? Well, let's buy a little bit more. Let's buy. Okay, if you insist. Okay, we're going to buy a little bit more of this overly hyped ASTER token there. Okay, so now I'm just adding a little bit here. I'm not getting aggressive. I'm doing this on Blowfin here, little bits at a time. Okay, let's get back into the news. Okay, so we understand there's a lot of things happening. There's a Russia situation as well. I haven't been watching. I've been partying in Ibiza, and I've been flying home this weekend. Quickly, TLDR, what's the Russia situation?
Well, right now there's all this talk. I mean, of course, things are heated there between Russia and NATO. And there was the drones about a week ago that had violated airspace and we were on alert. Well, there's just come out this weekend that Hungarian intelligence has tipped off Russia that there's supposedly a false flag attack that Ukraine has planned. They've got captured Russian drones that they've either shot them down and fixed them, whatever. They intend on carrying out a false flag, blowing up some targets in Poland and or Romania, blaming the Russians to bring NATO in. And so the Russians are out saying, listen, we know of this plan. We're not intending on doing it. If that happens, it wasn't me.
We're getting the tinfoil hat on. Okay, there's no tinfoil hats here. We're taking them off. Okay,
no, but this is in the news. This isn't just some deep, dark rabbit hole. This is the Russian minister just came out and said, listen, we're aware of this. It's not happening. We have no intention of creating these attacks. So
okay, guys, there you go. There's your Russia story. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. You know that Spider-Man meme of everyone pointing at everyone? That is basically what's going down at the moment. Okay, you guys know that meme. Everyone points at everyone. Okay, so let's talk at some important markers here. Which one is going to fail first? Okay, so here's the first marker. This is the S&P 500. You can see this divergence just doesn't want to play out. Look at this. It keeps holding here. Okay, so this S&P is just chopping around here in terms of our oscillator, and as long as that is happening, this thing keeps grinding to the upside. Okay, so no changes here. I would say when this S&P oscillator starts losing this horizontal, then this thing is going to start falling over. Okay, then this thing is going to start melting down here, and then we're going to get a proper sell-off. Now, is it going to be triggered by some kind of war drama or a government shutdown or whatever, things like that? Again, as always, there's always some kind of headline, even though the charts are telling the story leading into the event. Okay, so we'll have to see how this plays out this week, but that's an interesting one for me. And with war news, things like the dollar start becoming things we need to pay attention to. Okay, so here's the US dollar. Is it set for a rebound? This is the 𝗵𝗍𝗃 letter, and Bloomberg US Economic Surprise Index turned positive this week. Now, what is this? It's when they start picking up that the data that they're pushing out is starting to surprise to the upside. And they haven't had this in quite a long time. And this thing is now screaming some kind of reversal. So are we in the cycle now where we're getting the wrong sort of surprises? And is the dollar now going to rebound? That is the question. And remember, the danger of a dollar rebounding is typically that would be bad for the S&P. It would be typically bad for crypto as well. Again, we don't know how long this can play out for. Maybe it's just going to be till the 4th or 5th of October or something along those lines. But in terms of the dollar, now we haven't looked at it in a while on the show. There's multiple ways you could track this thing. You can start pulling out you can pull out trends, and I mean you can do whatever you want to do. Okay, but I'm watching these horizontals, and there's a couple of things that make just appear interesting to me. Number one is the weekly looks fairly bullish, but there is conflicting information. Okay, so this the volume is dropping, but this thing is obviously turning up on the weekly. Okay, so there is a little bit of information here that this weekly might want to grind a little bit higher. We can also see it is holding quite a strong level here at the moment. This 97.9, this type of region down to say 97. This is quite a strong zone. As you guys can see, it's quite a big fib pool as well, and we are floating around there. So again, just in terms of a basic chart, there's nothing wrong with a little push up on a chart like this even if it's a short-term move and a little kiss of, say, for example, an undercarriage or the 200-day moving average. So this could give us some kind of short-term dip in the market. This could give us some kind of scary little situation, maybe a final flush in the crypto markets, maybe another dump on the S&P, something like that. So eyes on the dollar, okay, with this war situation, things like that. It is definitely something we want to be watching, and we'll track this one during the course of the week. Okay, so possible upside coming on the dollar, and that means danger on a couple of things. Oh, are you ready for this? Okay. Guys, if you don't want to see something filthily bearish, okay, close your eyes, block your ears, okay, and we'll come back in like 90 seconds. Okay, this is absolute filth. It's like scraping this out of the bottom of the barrel, and it's offensive. Okay, KG says FTMS is pumping. This is weird. Okay, but let's first deal with bottom of the barrel filth. Why is Sonic flying?
Well, that's why I just noticed the bubble is blowing up, going, what? And I saw people talking in the Discord a little while ago, an hour or 2 hours ago, saying, oh, you should look at Sonic, look at Sonic. It's kind of been banned, but maybe it actually is moving.
It's such a shitcoin.
Always such a disappointment. Whoa.
Why is it blowing up? This is offensive.
Okay. It is, because we're not in it.
Yeah, well, probably. Okay. So, wait. I'm first going to deal with it. Okay, 𝗫𝗄𝗃𝗃. Okay. Bitcoin and tulips. Okay, I mean, guys, use this information, do whatever you want with it. Okay, I just found this super interesting. Okay, you may not like it, you may not see it, it may even provoke you. We have the largest bubble ever, and crypto is the very definition of it. That does not mean that the tech will not change the world, but crypto is a bubble and it will burst. Okay, now look at this. Look at his Bitcoin chart here, and he's compared this old school Tulip price index to BTC. Okay, and Legend of E, Sonic made my girl quit trading. Sonic is filth. Okay, Sonic is filth. Now, how's this chart? Okay, he's compared this to the Tulip chart, and he's basically telling us there might be a blow off top into 130, 140, and then basically send us back to zero. I mean, he's trying to send Bitcoin to 10K or something like that. So
this is what Henrik's been calling forever. I've been watching him for years, and he's been consistent saying, listen, we're not done. He's been screaming this weekend at everybody, listen, oh, bear market's here. No, we're not done yet. This is the final pullback before the blow off top. When this pops, everything goes to zero. That's been his theory all along.
This is just, everyone's got a view. Everyone's got their opinion on the situation. Again, so, for me, any major pumps in the market on BTC, any like blow off top where things start looking a little bit frothy and stuff like that. I mean, you got to be smart about this and start having some kind of exit plan just in case, okay? Because that might be the top. 130, if it pumps there, 140 could be the top of the market. It might not be the top forever, but, according to his chart, he wants to send it back to zero. I mean, Michael Saylor's going to be holding a couple of bags there. Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting if that happens, eh? Yeah. And all these other treasury companies that have popped up.
What's Michael Saylor's average buy price? Must be like
I'm not sure anymore, because there's dot plot his chart. He put it out again today. I think he's buying again tomorrow. I'm not sure what that average is though.
Okay, well, anyway, it's high. So if Bitcoin goes back to, say, like 40K or something, I mean, there's going to be pressure. There's going to be pressure. And it's the same, like we've been saying this for a while. Like the top of this market might actually be these companies that are buying up crypto assets like ETH and things like that. And it's all fun and games when everything is bullish. But suddenly if ETH is like 1, 2 and Bitcoin is at, I don't know, 50K, like there's pressure. There's pressure from shareholders. There's all sorts of things here that can come into play. Okay, so anyway, we can talk about that forever.
Rand's theory a few months ago that the end of this cycle will be marked by these treasury companies going under because they bought the top. When it finally drops, they start collapsing, bankruptcies happen, and that's the big FTX event, is all of these treasury companies. Whether it's Michael Saylor or not, don't know. But there's lots of others that have been buying more of the top than him. He's been buying.
There's got to be a big event. There's always a big catalyst. Okay, there's always a big event like that. Look, we'll wait and see. Okay, let's just enjoy the moment. Let's first get it into a place where we feel like things are getting frothy, and then we make sure that we take control of the matter. Now, Donald Trump introduces the new plan for the Bitcoin holders based on that chart, thanks to the meme master over there. And you can follow meme master 08, okay, on X. Now, hopefully we're not going to need that one. Now, bear news done. Okay, now let's talk about the good news. October is Apple's strongest month on record, so that's nice. It also happens to be Bitcoin's strongest month on record. Now, I was talking about this the other day. Let's just look statistically from 2013. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 years. 10 out of 12 have finished.
Good track record.
That's good. Okay, so if you want to take a bet, like take a bet. There's it looks like about an 85% hit rate here that BTC is going to finish positive in October. So if there's a sell-off, jump in.
Yeah, just because they're saying that it's going to be potentially bad the first week, it's the first week of every month. We've had plenty of bullish months that started bad and ended really good. So there's no reason it can't do that.
And these are big numbers, 60, 33, 14, 47, 10, 27, 39. These are big numbers here, guys.
Huge.
Okay, so just think about it. If there is a sell-off, like don't run away with your tail between your legs. If there is a sell-off, statistically, October finishes strong. Okay, so look at it that way. If you can survive any dumpage here in the market. Now, what do we do? Okay, how do we play this? So if there is going to be a sell-off in the market, there's a couple of levels that I'm watching very closely at the moment. They are the VWAP from the dump lows in April. Okay, so that's our April VWAP support. That is 107K, give or take. Okay, then a little bit lower down, we've got 105K coming into play. And this is beautiful. The longer it takes here, the more support we are getting from that 200-day moving average. Look at this thing creeping up here for us. So 105K, big one for me. Then a little bit lower down, and it makes so much sense here, guys. Perfect sense if they want to come and fill this wick. If this was a 15-minute chart and you were looking at this thing, you were looking for a long, you would look at this thing and say, okay, like maybe there's going to be a bounce here, maybe I'll ladder in a bit here, but if we drop here and fill this wick, I'm aping. Okay, and this for me is this 100K down to 98K. Look at that wick fill there. It makes so much sense here. Zone 2, and you can see there's this nice little wedgie situation going on here, and let's see what they give us in the next couple of days. So if there is downside, just be prepped and ready. You're looking for longs. I'm looking for longs. 105K, I'm looking for a bounce there. Again, don't know how high. 100 to 98K, looking for a bounce there if we do get a sell-off. And obviously the narrative is that October 10 out of 12 is going to be okay. So if we do get a sell-off here, we must buy this with confidence. Okay, and we're looking for a bounce there. Dale wants us at 100, 800. Let's see, where's 100, 800? Dale, yeah, it's the exact middle of that wick. Okay, so you might fill half of this wick, but you can see there's a wick here. If you guys are saying 108, 100K, like, you know, there's a wick fill coming. You guys are doing your homework. And Greg says 𝗏𝗏𝗏. Look, anything's possible. Can they just chop us to the upside, please? Okay, we just want nice things. Okay, even if it's for a month. Why can't we just have nice things? Okay, they must send this thing up. Okay, there you go. There's your levels for BTC. All right, you get my view. Right, so is every market open, sweeping liquidity, calling it? Okay, guys, are you enjoying? Have I covered enough bear shit for you? Now let's get into some alts. Okay, let's talk about. Do you think they're satisfied?
I think so. We've sufficiently bearish for the day.
Okay, so guys, look, you're going to see I'm in longs at the moment. I'm obviously going to look to take profit on a shit ton of these, and we're going to try and close some of them as well, and some of them are round tripping a little bit. Okay, so BTC, you know what's going on, we know what to do. Okay, talks about Licky's the heat map, 114K, that's a big one on the 1 week. This makes a ton of sense. If we push to 114K, that could be really nice. That'll be a flush through this high confluence danger zone. Look at this. This is a massive area here. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then downside, 108K, also nice and juicy there, guys. Makes a ton of sense. Okay, so a lot of lickies up here. Look at this. 1.4 billion. They'll liquidate shorts at 114K. The guys are getting bearish there. Woo! That's going to hurt. Okay, now, the Altseason chart is working again, and we are now back to, I can't believe this, we are back to 73. I'm not sure how this happened, but I actually thought it would be a little bit lower. You guys will remember last week I did a show, and this thing was stuck at like 100 or something like that. So we are still in just under the altcoin season zone, even though it doesn't feel like it quite at the moment. And Ben Cowan reminding you that dominance is going to go up. Okay, so he's feeling very smug at the moment. This thing's looking bullish, and that's obviously potentially bearish for the altcoins, because bullish dominance means Bitcoin is outperforming the altcoins. Okay, so just remember that. That could come into play there for us. And in terms of the way I like to watch it, I just play these rejection zones and these reaction zones, and you can see what's going on here. They do respect basic TA quite nicely, these dominance charts. So 59.3, this is our rejection zone. If we get this push back to the downside, you're looking at the alts danger zone at 57%. So no euphoria allowed at 57%. If you're not taking profits, at 57% and the market collapses from there, you only have yourself to blame. Okay, so looking for this push down, that would be the dream situation. The daily has turned a little bit bearish here. Now, there's always two scenarios. One of them is that we can go straight down and pump the alts. That's always nice. One of the better ones, which is short-term, obviously more bearish, is that we have to print bearish divergence, which means that we go up here and we print a new low on the oscillator, and it means the price or dominance, for example, might want to print a new high, and then we get that rejection. So there are two scenarios that we are watching very closely here at the moment. I think the stronger one, and the one that will give us a bigger value in October, is going to be that. Okay, so it's going to be a sell-off maybe this week or whatever, and then a nice rejection at that 60.5% bearish divergence on dominance, and then we've got a nice bullish divergence on the altcoins on the daily, and probably BTC on the daily as well, and that could be a nice big mover for us. Okay, so these are my two dominance plays. Then in terms of USDT dominance, and guys, yeah, I can't say I didn't say so. I mean, yeah, market bound zone. Isn't this a thing of beauty, James, when you see anything, even a shitcoin or even USDT dominance pumping into the 200-day MA tied in with a 618 and horizontal? I have a lot of confidence in writing market bounce zone. Okay, and we saw these altcoins put their brakes on in that area when it was happening. Bitcoin put its brakes on at the same time, and that is a typical area where you do look for a rejection. Now you can see, same as Bitcoin dominance, this thing is turning bearish now for the first time, and the last time it did that, we actually had just a straight push to the downside. So that would be pleasant. Okay, that's our bull case, that this thing just drops now. That would be amazing. Obviously, the bear case is that we print the divergence, and it looks exactly like the Bitcoin dominance chart. We print that, and then we get that second push on USDT dominance into 4.98, bang, and then we get a nice, beautiful October. Okay, so those are the bear scenarios there. I hope that makes sense for you. So if we're going to print bearish divergence on daily charts on USDT DOM and Bitcoin dominance, we're going to go up one more level. That means the alts are going to get absolutely fucking wrecked, and we're going to drop, and then we're going to get a nice pump. I think that would be the most bullish scenario for an amazing October. The question is, can we survive it? Okay, so make sure you are prepped and ready for these types of scenarios if they do indeed play out. Okay, now in terms of our 4-hour RSI heat map, we back in the chop zone. If anyone's feeling like they got chopped up this weekend, this is most likely why. We are sitting in the middle here, getting chopped around at the moment. Okay, so we don't have any definitive big swings on either side at the moment. We kind of just needed this thing to play out a little bit here and just be a little bit more patient. Now, there's a couple of charts that I've got for you guys today that are going to show you that the market might want to dip lower. Okay, and sometimes I use like a random chart. I remember like about a year and a half ago, it was IMX that I was using, and IMX had a monster head and shoulders. Everything else looked okay, but that for me was a sign that the market was going to collapse. And sometimes we can just use a random altcoin that is going to tell us a story. And today I've got a few of these that are possibly available. Now, I want to show you the first markers. Number one, I've got ETH at the moment, and what I've written here on the oscillator, this is the daily chart. Divergence means a new low. Okay, so we've got a reversal on our daily. Okay, so we can all agree we've got a reversal print on the daily, and that might give us some kind of bounce. Again, if you get a reversal on the daily oscillator, sometimes it's the Valhalla play. Sometimes it's the one that pumps us to a beautiful new place and we get euphoric. But very often we need to look for these divergences. And if you look at this chart, and we start saying, well, if we're going to print divergence, we need a new low. Look what we've got waiting here. We've got this 382 macro fib and some beautiful horizontals in this area at 3,600 down to say 3,400, somewhere in that area. If we drop there this week, that's going to print bullish divergence on the daily, and that is going to give us the dream move for October, make us nice and bullish. Okay, so a little bit bearish first to get max long and max bullish later on. Okay, so look out for that. If you do get that drop, 3.6 to 3.4, just look in those areas. Okay, you got to be confident in those zones. If we're falling in that area, I'll hopefully be able to knock some show together or get something going here for you guys. But that is going to be a big one for me if we drop into those zones. Okay, now what do we do short term? Again, this is a Sunday night push to the upside. So with that in mind, we might want to just look at some lower time frames. But you can see on the higher time frame here, I mean, there's a very simple trend and situation happening here for ETH. So I mean, you know, this could be the play for this week, for example, on ETH. So let's go lower time frame here and let's just take a look. You can see, keeping it super simple, this is ETH on the 4 hour, and what you want to kind of look for here is a VWAP and a 50-day day and a fib rejection zone and things like that. And I'd say, look, it's a monster zone there, that 618 and 50 day. I'd say it's asking a lot, okay, to go to 4,400. It is asking a lot there for me. If it does push that high, I would say this is probably your best bet rejection zone for today. So on a Sunday, if we do pump a little bit more, this for me is probably your best bet rejection zone. Okay, so 4,185, somewhere in that region, up to say 4,250. That looks like a danger zone there for me on ETH. If we do pump a little bit higher, 4,400, guys, be super careful up there. 50-day MA, 618, VWAP, undercarriage. Okay, big danger zone there for you guys. What's ASTER doing? Are we getting rinsed? No. Okay, so we added and now it's sort of coming back down. Okay, so there you go. There's ETH. Okay, you got the deal upside, you know the play. Lower down, okay, there might be a short-term bounce zone. Again, if we're going to print, maybe a 4-hour or 8-hour divergence and stuff like that, you might be, the market might give you a little bit less of a hard time. And there is this zone that I marked last week. Okay, so 3,750 down to 3,570. Remember, this is the lower time frame chart. I'm talking 2-hour, 4-hour chart on this one. Remember, the big one, the higher time frame chart always supersedes the lower time frame stuff. Okay, so if you're unsure and the market's falling over, zoom out, go daily, go 3-day. Those levels take precedence over all these lower time frame levels. Okay, let's go. Let's talk. A couple of announcements. Yeah, guys, if you're in Chart Hackers, you are getting an invite or guaranteed a place to our banter event in Singapore. This is happening on Thursday. It's the 1% club. And what's it called? Not the 1% club. What do they call it? The banter 1%. Okay, this is our event. Anyway, I'll be there. DJ and Dave is going to be there with me as well. And obviously a ton of the banter crew are going to be at this event. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. If you're in the Chart Hackers Discord, there's obviously limited seats available, guys. But if you're in the Chart Hackers Discord, go to announcements, click on here, okay? Tag Sunshine in this thing and let her know. Okay, and we're going to get you guys in there. All right, so we'll see you in there. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. Okay, a couple of trades here. Let's see. Sol's looking good. ETH is looking better. Pumps exploded. That's nice. Okay, hype. Round tripping a bit on hype at the moment. Yeah, it was a banger from last week, like an absolute banger. Then it fell over again, and now it's trying to climb again. SUI, a nice round trip on SUI. Thoroughly enjoyed that round trip there on SUI. It was so beautiful. I'm going to take you guys through that. And 𝗏𝗏 is still in my zone. So I was thinking about giving you guys a couple of trades to watch this week. Obviously, my current sentiment is that we're potentially going to get more downside. So if you want to take one or two of these trades, I'm going to show you them, but you just got to expect, that there is a possibility that they might fail and we might have to relook at these things come, say, Tuesday, Wednesday for some kind of fresh levels. Okay, one of them is this 𝗏𝗏, and you can see I'm in this thing. I've been trying to build a bit of a size, but it's kind of just chopping around. So that's my flattest one at the moment that I can actually offer you guys. So I'm going to show you the picture in a second. Let's start with Sol and let's see what's going down. So just a reminder of what happened. Macro 786 rejection at 252. Beautiful. Okay, look at that second pop into that zone, flushed out the short stops, and then dropped this thing down. Now, what is it bouncing off? Look at this. No surprises. Yeah, I spoke about this level on that short I did on Friday. I think I spoke about it on Thursday as well. 192, 193, and 190. Look at this. It's a VWAP from the lows here of 2nd of August, and we had a 382 fib. Okay, so typical bounce zone there for Sol. That was a nice area on the 12-hour. Now we can see this 12-hour is starting to turn up. It is starting to look a little bit better. And obviously, one of the things we need to be aware of is if we are going to print a bullish divergence, for example, on the 12-hour, that might mean Sol needs to come lower down. Okay, so what I want you to do is be prepped for both scenarios. So once again, if you get weakness later on today, you might have a second crack at Sol, okay? And you could possibly have a go again at 194 down to 190. So if they come for us in the middle of the night here and they start dropping us lower, you might get something like that, and that'll give us some kind of double bottom play, and then we get some kind of pump out of Sol. Okay, so in terms of a higher conviction play, I want to see a little bit more weakness here on a Sunday. If we are jumping into things now on a Sunday afternoon, there's obviously the risk that we could get a little bit of a sell-off. So 195 to 190 makes sense to me on Sol. If they are going to capitulate the market, guys, I'm pretty confident pretty confident that we're going to get something here. 176 to 166. There's your 200-day, your VWAP, your 0.5, your trend, your horizontal. There's enough going on here for me that tells me if we have a sell-off leading into October, that we're going to get some action here at that region. So that is about another 15%. You're going to feel very sorry for yourself down there, but you've got to have the confidence to push buttons if they are dropping the market. And that is, for me, is a big zone. 176 to 166, big area there for me on Sol. I'm loving that 200-day MA, and that'll play into a bullish divergence print on this 12-hour. Okay, so all things looking good there for Sol from that perspective. Remember, all of these charts go into the Chart Hackers Discord straight after the show for you. And remember, anything I talk about on the show is in the show description under the show. So you just go here and you click on more, okay? And then you're going to see all the stuff from my accelerator course that teaches you all this TA that I do. There's the Chart Hackers Discord. There's the exchanges that I use. WeX, no KYC. Blowfin, no KYC. It's there for you guys. BTC.C, you want to trade stocks. There shouldn't be, I don't think there's KYC there either. It's all happening here. There's Pinex. You want to do the bots with us? It's there. And Bitfunded. Okay, I'm going to show you guys about Bitfunded as well. There's big stuff happening here on Bitfunded. Okay, so there were a lot of complaints that you guys couldn't pass the challenge. Okay, so Bitfunded have said, okay, we'll make it easier for you. Okay, so what they've done here is they've now given you a one-step evaluation. Okay, so remember, Bitfunded is prop funded trading. So you're actually using other people's money to trade with, and you're going to keep 80% of the profits. But to show them that you can trade, you've got to pass an evaluation, and you have to pay for that evaluation. So there's a two-step evaluation that you guys know about that I've done for you guys. You've seen I've got these funded accounts here, and that means you get 8% phase 1, you get 5% phase 2, and then you get real money to trade with. Okay, now they have a one-step evaluation here for you guys, so they've made it simpler for you. So if you want to try trade with other people's money, try this Bitfunded situation. What you can do, again, go to the show description, click on more, there it is. Now, in the Discord, I've got a specific team dedicated to helping you guys trade this Bitfunded, because Kimmy and the Nagel, this is their expertise. Okay, they like prop funded trading and stuff like that. Yeah, they are. There's our Bitfunded section. Okay, so you can go there. They're dropping trades, they're dropping setups, and they will guide you through the situation, and they will help you understand this whole prop trading situation, and they will get you through this Bitfunded, no doubt. Okay, so there you go, and it is all going down in the Chart Hackers Discord for you guys. All right, now let's get into some more of these shit coins. I don't know if I believe this, but I just brought this on because I just wanted to sit with James and be like, it's on X, so it must be true. Someone bought 10,000 Bitcoin for $15,000. 14 years later, sold it for 1.1 billion. Okay, he bought 100 million of ASTER thereafter. James, it must be true because it's on X. Do you agree?
100% true. Quite bullish for ASTER. You know what, though? I'll have to say, that's where all the hype is right now, is this ASTER. And CZ is on talking about it right now on X, and tons and tons of talk about it. We got to go where the attention is. That's all that's been happening lately, is just this token pumps, that token pumps, run with the attention. That's got the attention now, so pay attention.
Yeah, so we pay attention, guys. So whether we believe this shit or not, okay, again, like, it doesn't actually matter. Like, we here to trade some charts, we want to make some dollars, and we want to, we want to crack on. So if CZ is going to hype ASTER, and half of X is going to make announcements like this about how bullish they are on ASTER, let's ride this thing until it eventually unbullishes itself and goes to zero, or not. Maybe it's an amazing thing, okay? And ATH also ripping tits off, according to the Broken Skull. What is ATH? Yes, okay, there's an ASTER airdrops, and Syed, I did actually put the white cap on because I was feeling a little bit bearish into October, but I'm bullish October, okay? And yeah, Oran says, good price action, scary project. Look, guys, again, we trade the action. You can see the market is so desperate to make some money. The market, if you look at this funding rate heat map, look at ASTER. It's the only one that is orange, okay? Bar, what is this? Hype, okay, Hype, which is one of my favorites. Okay, but look at this one, 209%. This thing is fucking proper danger territory here. Okay, proper danger country here on this thing. Okay, let's see. Like, look at that. Okay, if you want to see where the attention's been in the market, it's been an ASTER. Okay, like that's where everybody wants to be at the moment, and that's fine. Let's go along. Let's go for the ride. Let's go and ride this ASTER thing, okay? Which is exactly why I said to you, I'm jumping in this ASTER situation, and I'm trying to see where it takes me. You can see we've got a 618 support, 1.73. That makes sense to us. This is the 2-hour chart that I'm tracking. This thing is starting to turn up. I don't love this negative cash flow over here. I mean, that's pretty interesting to me. I don't know. It's like seriously negative cash flow there, but this thing is trying to go up. So that is an interesting one. Maybe we are getting towards the end of the euphoria on this thing. Maybe all the big guys are going to be able to get out now and then basically dump this thing. Then everyone will forget about it for a couple of months, and then maybe it starts the journey back up.
It's running.
Yes, look at it. Look at it. When they show it's making money again, then maybe it does. Let's add some more. Don't mind if I do so.
Add.
Wait, I don't even think I have enough margin here. I've been running this on 5x. Okay, there we go. We added some more. Okay, so again,
what's your blue line?
Momentum. The blue line, I actually don't know. This is a preset.
Is that a VWAP or a 200-day?
It says MA60 on the 1 hour. Okay, 60. So that's what that is, yeah. Okay, so I'm trading this one on Blowfin. So you guys can see what I'm doing here. I've gone isolated 5x because this thing is so volatile. I'm not going like big size. Like you can see like here, I'm going like a lot bigger like for these guys. I got 50K in hype. I got 80K ETH. 50K Sol, but then you go to like this ASTER, like it's dangerous. Okay, so I've just gone a little bit, nibble, small leverage. As this thing starts moving, you can see I'm not aping. I added a little bit at a time on this thing, and trying to get some action out of this, trying to get a little bit of energy. So where can this thing possibly go? Well, I mean, look. It's anyone's guess what the play is, what they have in mind. But in terms of what the chart tells us, and we can see that the market makers are respecting fibs at the moment. That's normally a good start. And what we can do is just see where some of our big danger zones are. Okay, so for me, in terms of ASTER, a reasonable take profit zone is this 1.98. That's a reasonable TP zone here. If we push into anywhere in this region, so up to say 194 up to about 2, somewhere in there, that could be your first rejection zone. And then 2.15 is going to be your next rejection zone. Okay, so just be careful here with this ASTER and let it be. If the market's chasing this thing, have a crack. Just be careful with your sizing. You don't want to get your titties in a tangle for no reason. Now, Addy Charts is talking and life motivation. Well, have fun going to zero. Have fun getting rinsed. Like, you're going to get rinsed. This thing will chop you up so quickly. Okay, so it's not a smart play. I think go 5x. You can see I'm not scared of 100x. Fuck, you don't have to ask me twice to go 50x, 100x, whatever. You guys can see it. But the stuff like ASTER, it's like playing with a hot potato. Like, just be careful. Okay, small position, lower leverage. Yeah, like it doesn't have to be big. Ali says $3 looks like a prime buy the dip zone for SUI before a bounce to 3.8. So Ali Charts is tracking SUI, and look, so am I. So I mean, in terms of our big chart levels, this is SUI on the daily, and in terms of our high confluence zone from my daily charts that I drop on a Monday in the Chart Hackers Discord, this zone is holding 3.1. This is a banger. It's a 618. It's a trend. It's a horizontal. It's a huge area here for us on SUI. And again, we're getting our first reversal print on the daily. What does that mean? Is that light at the end of the tunnel, or is it a freight train coming to smash us? So if it is the freight train, that means we're printing our bullish divergence and the price needs to go lower. If that's light at the end of the tunnel, well, then we're just firing this thing off from here. So, again, you got to be in the game. Okay, you can see I'm in the game here. I'm playing some longs here at the moment, but one eye over my shoulder here waiting for some kind of drama from these market makers. So in terms for me on big levels, what do I like? This 3.11, guys, is a must-hold zone. In terms of what Ali Charts is saying, he's banged out some kind of trend here to the downside. And look, I mean, it's possible that we drop into this type of zone here, 3 to 2.9. That's cool. It just doesn't tie in with my fibbage that I have. So in terms of the levels that I like, if we start closing under this 3.08, for me, the next feasible level is 2.75. Okay, so that's kind of where I would be. 3.11, look for longs. or for me, 2.75. That looks like an area of interest to me, just based on the tools that I use and what I like to look for. And Oren says, feed the licky bees. Yeah, well, I mean, you ever send you a shirt? I mean, you must go get your licky shirt. If you're going 50x or 100x on ASTER, you must get your licky shirt. Okay, go get it. Go get it urgently. Okay, so what have we done? We've done ASTER. We've done SUI. Okay, there we go. Oh, and here's our when entry. So, guys, what I'd like to do, and it's a new thing that we decided with the team, in the Chart Hackers Discord, is generally after every show, I want to give you guys one trade where it's the entry, the stop loss, the take profit, blah, 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 all those things, okay? And it's kind of like my high conviction trade for the day that I give you guys. Now, SUI was our when entry. When was this? On Thursday. SUI was the when entry from the show on Thursday, and it dropped into the zone, and it hit our TP1 box and has done a full round trip. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. It's been absolutely wonderful doing the full round trip on SUI. But in terms of this trade, it is actually still valid. Okay, so there's no reason to jump out of this thing just yet. And you know, if we're going to get a little pop in the market late on a Sunday, and they're going to feed us a little bit of energy, well, you know, then obviously we can ride the SUI a little bit higher. So in terms of this trade setup, no changes here. You can see we've got our blue reversal dot on the 2 hour. We've got our bullish divergence print. This thing has started turning a little bit more positive. Danger for me, obviously, 200-day AMA. We can see that. We struggled around it the last time. But if we clear this area, this looks like fun to me. Okay, so it looks like a nice 3.4, 3.42, that sort of area. That's a high probability rejection zone. Okay, so just be cautious up there for SUI. And then in terms of the stop, just ideally like wait for your, you know, try and get it in the box, and that's going to lower your risk to about 2.5%. And for me, the stop is a close under 3.04. Okay, so if this thing closes under that type of area, that's probably where you're going to cut this thing. Okay, I love the show. Bullish on Chart Hackers futures. Come trade with us in Chart Hackers. Come trade with those degens that we've got in there as well. Okay. Okay, pump, let's go. Also, a very, very long, drawn-out wait on pump from Thursday all the way to Sunday. Okay, sat in this thing. I even dropped this in Hackers earlier today in my channel. And I just said, like, I mean, it hadn't popped yet. I said, these alts are hanging on to their levels from Friday. I mean, I couldn't actually believe it, the way these things went sideways here for 3 or 4 days. Now this thing is pumped. But for me, where am I getting out of this pump? Here, this is it. It's coming. So 615, danger, danger, danger for pump. Then your next one is 74. So these are your two TP zones for pump. Anyone that's got a piece of this from last week, okay, like literally sitting in this thing, that's where you're watching. 64.5 and 74.2. These are your danger zones. In fact, I just want to highlight this VWAP. It's a little bit lower. It's here. Okay, so it's 61, guys. Sorry, 615. Watch there. That's your VWAP. That is going to be a danger zone there for me on pump. Then in terms of the fall, look at this double bullish divergence print. That's nice. And this thing could obviously now go a little bit higher, but I would say these are your danger zones. Be disciplined in those areas. Just be cautious up there. Okay, so nice that it's broken trend. That's great. If you were looking for some kind of bullish support, your easiest play is just going to use this horizontal. Okay, so all you need to do is make sure that 534 is holding a support. So if they melt the market down, you kind of want to just see that area hold 534 as your main support. Okay, Jason's back. I haven't seen Jason in a long time. Hello, sir. Jason Wetston, XPL. I remember this face from like, I don't know, a year ago. I don't know. Welcome back. He's obviously back trading shitcoins. Okay, there you go. So there's that. Then here's hype. Okay, also absolute banger. Like it hit the zone, 40.3. That was the zone from the short that I gave. When was this? Thursday. Okay, I think we covered this Friday. I think so. It was Friday. 40.3. There were two zones for me on hype that made sense. Okay, 40.3 and 34.4. There were only two areas. Okay, so right now we are moving into a big area on hype. I've written here big zone to break, but it's also a big zone to get rinsed on. So if you are trading hype here and you are contemplating jumping into a long here, you are at major resistance 47.3, big danger zone 47.3 to 47.8. There's big trouble up here. If we clear that, that means there's fresh longs. Okay, if we clear that hard, there's fresh longs through there. Okay, so look to break that first. Right now, we are at a bit of a danger zone, so I would be super careful there. And then there is argument, okay? There is an argument that we've got that little inverse head and shoulders here. The Viking man makes onions. Okay, so just look out, okay? Hold my rod. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And now I'm going to Singapore tomorrow. Okay, so a little bit tired, a little bit hungover still, but this is what we want out of hype. Okay, so 47.3, we want to see that as support. If we can get that, then we'll be good. Yes, Tony, it is kind of there. Okay, a little inverse head and shoulders. There's bulls can argue that, but you got to break through this 50-day MA. You got to smash that 50-day MA, and you want that as your support, and then you can maybe start trading this to 52, and then maybe a little bit higher. Okay, so just be careful with this guy. Key support, right shoulder. Key support, 43. Use that. Okay, 43. You start closing under 43, it's SIF. Okay, you're going back to 40, somewhere in that type of area. Same with Link. Okay, also argument here on Link. For the bulls, inverse head and shoulders, possibly. Okay, there you go. So there's that's your kind play from the market makers. So if they do now flush out the Sunday pump, all you're going to look for is a long off 20.4 down to 20.2. That's a proper DGen long, 20.4 to 20.2. That will be a weekend clean out, a little flush back to the downside. That could be fun. Alternatively, you're looking at longs, 19.4 down to 19. Okay, 19.4 down to 19. That looks reasonable for me. And that also looks like a little divergence situation there where they melt us down on a Monday, bang, and then we get those longs, say, come Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, something along those lines there for me on Chainlink. That looks okay. Then to 𝗬𝗧𝗹, here's the 290. Okay, we were looking for this 290 for ages. I mean, we were talking about 290 somewhere in August, I think. Even when we were here, we were talking about this thing. So it's finally hit 290. It's hit it twice. I have no idea why 𝗬𝗧𝗹 is underperforming so badly relative to like some of the other AI tokens and things like that. But 290, if you want to be long, use that area. Okay, if you start closing under 290, then start cutting. Your next area is 263. Your next area is 236. Okay, so there's two zones here to the downside. 263, call it 268, 263, and then you've got 236. Okay, somewhere in that area. Those are your two lower levels. So if this 290 gets lost and the market's dumping and all these things, and everyone's panicking, that's where you're looking for longs. Okay, to the downside, watch those two areas over there. Let's see what else we got here. Virtual. Here's one chart that tells me that this market could come lower. And in fact, I've got another one as well, and we haven't tapped the 786. Okay, so look at this. Virtual on the daily, bullish. Okay, that's reversed. Well, what do I want to see? That, bang, bullish divergence on the daily. What does that mean? Maybe a short-term push here, and then a drop into this 82 to about 90 to about 82. Okay, 90 to 82 for virtual. That makes sense to me. And that would be, I'd say that's a quality long from that area. Okay, so give yourself breathing room. This will be sort of a higher conviction type bounce play. Okay, so it does mean we are going to see some downside if that is going to play out. So that is possibly 16% to the downside. Okay, so that'll be a nice, beautiful flush on the market. And then we can maybe start relooking at a strong virtual bounce. Remember, at some point, they come back to visit these trends. Okay, you see these trends here. At some point, they come back to the 200-day. At some point, it comes back to the 50-day. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so it just depends how we get there. Okay, so possible bounces here, maybe. Okay, high conviction is at 90 to 82, making sense to me. Same with Lido, exactly like virtual. Look at this. This is Lido on the 12. And if we are going to drop this, this tells me this market needs to come down. Here's our 618. Here's our 200-day MA. We are so close to this region. Why won't they just drop the market bang here into 1? So it's 1 to about 95 on Lido. Okay, now I started a bot on this guy with this in mind, and my bot Lickies is below. It's below the 786. It's like somewhere here. Okay, in that type of area. We'll look at it now. But for me, Lido, like higher conviction play, it's that dip, 1 to 95. That makes a lot of sense to me for Lido. Obviously, this thing can go up from here. No one's saying it can't. And if it does, then you've got your trend that you can play with. Bang. Okay, look at that. And then you've got your high conviction rejection zones. Okay, so you've got something like this. And you want to just make sure you are super careful if this thing starts pumping. you want to be watching 1.25. Okay, so that's a danger zone for me. In fact, I'll bang out the 236 as well, because you can see we got good confluence there. And there's another one. Okay, so you've got 1.17 and 1.26. 1.17 and 1.26 on Lido. These are your upside rejection zones, and then this thing can still come and come down. Multi-Doge, oh snap. Dylan is back. I am back, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like I missed you guys. Scotty, where you been, bro? What's going on here, guys? What's going on? Can't come late for class. 𝗵𝗍𝗶𝗃 wants to look at Rune. Sure.
Banned.
Yeah, Rune's a tough one. I think fundamentally it had a couple of issues. So yeah, it's just a difficult one. It's a difficult one. Okay, let's see what bots. Okay, here we go. So here's I want to show you the aero bot. I've closed my aero bot. I wanted to start a new fresh aero bot. So here's Lido. Okay, there's the Lido bot I've got. There's 𝗃𝗏 still doing its thing. There's Pump, turn nice and green. 𝗃𝗏 still getting a bit wrecked, but like I like this 290. I think it's going to be okay. Hype as well, bouncing a little bit here. I think it's going to be okay. So I'm leaving that. Sol's cooking. I've closed my Sol ETH bot. I closed my Avantis bot. What else did I close? I closed the S bot. Funnily enough, S is now pumping, and I closed the bot. Like, I mean, fucking hell. Okay, but like, I mean, I could have left it. You know what I mean? It's like,
there's a conference running on that thing, eh? Dave's been talking about it. That I think that's why it's pumping into the conference this week.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense, and probably taking out all the bears. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to make a fresh aero bot in the Sunday Banger. What's the Sunday Banger? The Sunday Banger is every Sunday night, myself and DJ and Dave sit with the chart hackers in a private Zoom, and we do charting, and we talk about the market and plans for the week and things like that. And what I'm going to do is make a fresh bot there in the Sunday Banger, which starts now, directly after the show. So in 30 minutes, we're going to be doing that with the chart hackers. And yes, we're going to open some new bots here, guys, and we're going to cover this stuff. Okay, so I'll show them exactly how to do it, and I'm going to be doing it on the aero chart. You can see I've mapped it out. I'm ready to go, and it looks very much like Lido. Okay, very much like Lido. Look at that, 786 and trend. Where have you seen that? Bullish reversal on the thing, you know, maybe a little divergence. Anyway, it's possible. Okay, so I am kind of looking for that type of scenario there on aero. We will cover that for you guys. Brett, same story. Okay, this was the levels that I covered sometime last week. Okay, it's 377 is holding for now. If the market rips and turns super bullish, well, we've got our danger zone, 46. Okay, that's a big short area there for me. Until then, you're using 377 on Brett. And Nia, you got 2.68. Use that as your support. It's a high conviction support zone. June low, VWAP, 50-day MA, 618. Horizontals, there's a lot going on there for Nia. And AVAX, somebody was asking about AVAX, 28.3 is what you can use for now. And then a little bit lower, if we're going to get that bearish divergence, well, you can see it looks the same on all these charts. Okay, so 26.5 looks like the next reasonable zone for AVAX. Okay, so yeah, hopefully you guys are well sorted. And Tech3 says, Sonic scam, sell that sheet. Okay, cool. Guys, Sunday Banger starting now. James, thank you, sir.
Good luck, everyone. Gonna need it this week.
It's gonna be a fun week, guys. Either way, we're getting clarity this week. Okay, it's good. It's a good week. Okay, October's
it's coming.
Should be okay. Okay, guys, good luck. Hackers, Sunday Banger. No show tomorrow. I'm on a plane going to Singapore. How's this? I'm flying day flight here. I land in Singapore at 6 a.m. in Singapore, but it's like 11 p.m. for me, real time. And then I got to race go-karts with a ledger event and then go to events and functions. It's, I don't know, at some point we'll sleep, okay? And then I'll drop a short for you guys, hopefully by maybe Tuesday, but hopefully by Wednesday, I'll give you guys some levels. Okay, so excuse my absence. Got to be in Singapore for the event. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm letting some of you guys down. But yeah, that's why we got the Chart Hackers Discord and we got the team looking after everybody in there. Okay, see you guys later. Okay, bye.